Wait, what? Is this the Soviet Union with a 3 billion GDP? We're massively ahead of everybody else here, and we have 24.2 standard of living, as well as 35 million loyalists and 5 million revenue with a very low taxation. This is an insane run, and everybody in our country loves us. And if you want to see the final part where we go up to 1936 and conquer the world as the Soviets, let's get to 7,000 likes in the first couple of days after this is out. And if you enjoy the content, consider subscribing. I'm trying to get to 160,000 before the end of the year, and I'd really appreciate the support. But hey, you don't have to if you don't want to. That's fine. I'm just gonna take your wallet and you're never gonna see it again. It's communist time. We do start as the third great power, but our standard of living is struggling, so that's something we're gonna be working on for sure. We do have the pops to do a lot of things. We don't have the GDP, but it's all good. All you need is love and pops, love and pops. Sometimes both of these together. Now, take note, I'm going to be explaining stuff a lot more in depth in this particular video, and I'm going to be going through every single step, which means that this might be a little bit of a longer video. Strap in. There's going to be a lot of bad jokes, and please don't cancel me. I love you very much. As some of you know, I'm a massive sci-fi fan and was excited when today's sponsor, Star Trek Fleet Command, announced the arrival of one of the most beloved Star Trek franchises, Deep Space Nine, as their newest chapter. This update has something for everybody. There's new missions that follow the fan favorite narrative of Deep Space Nine, 3 new officers that focus on ship survivability and Alliance starbases. Epic Cisco, Rare Kira, and Rare Miles O'Brien are the newly added officers, 2 of which are useful in any armada and 1 specializing in specific Deep Space Nine armadas. Alliance starbases are the physical embodiment of an Alliance's strength, pushing members to work together towards mutual benefits whilst navigating inter-alliance diplomacy, conflict, and all-out war. The USS Defiant was also added alongside the Dominion, Kardashians, and Dr. Bashir, and the best part is that it's available on iOS, Android, and Windows. This is your chance. Take the con and journey through the wormhole with me in Star Trek Fleet Command by using my link in the description or the QR code on screen. Alright, so first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go to our politics. We do have the Gentry Assembly here in charge. We want to mix this up a little bit because we also want to change some of this legislation. But before anything, of course, we can go for dedicated police force, replacing the no police and getting us the new institution of law enforcement that lowers radicals from standards of living and state penalty from turmoil. And boys, there's going to be a lot of turmoil. After we pass that legislation, we're going to change the government around. I'm keeping it as it is right now because we got 100% legitimacy, and because of that, it's 50% faster enactment time. So this legislation is going to pass ridiculously fast because of that. Next up, we're going to go to our tech. We are a little bit behind everybody else with technology. That is faux sure. So to catch up and to make sure we're not lagging behind, what we're going to do is we're going to go first for lathe here. So we unlock the new production methods, and it leads us down to the railways, which is one of the most important things in the early game. Otherwise, market access is going to be a massive issue for us. We also start with a pretty significant bureaucratic shortfall, because once we enact this law, we're going to go from 282 to minus 200. So we need to build up a few of those admin buildings. Let's change our production methods also. Need to start making some extra furniture. We don't have any dyes, so we're not going to change to ceramic production for glasswork just yet, but we will be getting some dyes fairly soon. Same thing goes for the urban centers. We want to go for gas street lights, but we need to get coal for that, and we don't have any coal mines despite being the country with the highest amount of potential gold mines ever. So we're gonna be building some coal mines up next. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the queue in Moscow. Also, let's change this over to apple orchard and citrus orchard. Also, harvesting tools. Again, the issue is we only have 3 tooling workshops, or we're gonna build some more. We're also gonna need sulfur mines, lead mines, cotton plantations, all that schnapps, silk plantations. So let's build first 3 silk plantations, 5 cotton plantations. I'm building them randomly around everywhere because I have a lot of population distributed everywhere, and the throughput bonus is good, but we just need to make sure that we distribute evenly some jobs, and I'll focus on the actual throughput afterwards. Let's get some whale oil and of course the sulfur and the lead mines in Armenia apparently. Now that all that is queued up, we can also switch over to the iron frame buildings. This is going to increase the cost of tooling workshops by a ton. So what I'm going to do because of that is I'm going to wait. I'm I'm not going to switch just yet. I'm going to build instead 3 new construction sectors. Alt click so they go to the front of the queue over in Moscow. And after that, I'm going to queue up 2 more tooling workshops also in Moscow. I'm going to put these after the construction sectors, obviously. This way, after we build the construction sectors, we get the tooling workshops. We have enough budget-wise. We can increase taxation. Take note, guys, it's actually better to keep taxation on lower, because this way you get more money into your investment funds and the general population gets a little bit better, so standard of living goes up and so on, because they can afford more goods. But for the early part of the campaign, like the first 5 to 6 years, it's actually okay to max out the tax so you can get a quick boost of extra cash that you can use and then start lowering the tax as you go along. So by the first 10 years, you should have either medium or low taxes afterwards and still have a pretty decent economy. We're also using our authority points to suppress the intelligentsia. We want to stop doing that. We want the intelligentsia to actually get some support and some clout, since we will be doing some massive restructuring in our country if we are to become the Soviet Union. Now, the extra authority points, what we're going to do with those is we're going to be using them to get some extra taxes. Services, of course, is one of the vital ones. We start with the liquor tax also. We can also add porcelain, but we will be reducing the taxes as we go along in the campaign. Just for the initial part, they're pretty decent. I'm also going to start promoting social mobility, which gives education access to. I'm going to do that in my main states like Moscow, St. Petersburg. As I reduce the consumption taxes, I will be using the authority to get new edicts when possible. Let's also go to our interest map mode. So we have a lot of interests around the world. We're also going to go for Indonesia, South America, because obviously we're going to colonize that schnaps. I'm also going to fully colonize Kazakhstan. I will not be colonizing Hokkaido because I'm a Japanese boo and I want to get my Japanese residency renewed, so there's that. But I am going to be taking Sakhalin just because I can. Hey, I'm letting them keep this, alright? I'm a generous human being. Come on. You can also go to your political lens and then state action, and we can incorporate the majority of our country. Now, take note, because we do have the colonial resettlement legislation from the start, that means that unincorporated states get 100% extra migration attraction. So the reality is that you don't want to incorporate all of the Siberian lands because they get extra migrants as unincorporated states. So for the initial 10 years, keep it as this, don't incorporate. Incorporate after the next 10 years. What we could do, however, we could incorporate these lands over here in the Baltic, the Karelian region, Saratov, and the Caucasus. These are okay to incorporate in my opinion. We can do the same to the Polish lands later on. We need to build more administrative centers first because we have 10 bureaucracy, which is a huge problem. So we're going to queue up these bad boys too. We're going to place them in provinces where we do not have enough bureaucracy. So you can go here to your situation and you can see that most of the provinces that have high population need more admin buildings. So we're going to do that right now. We're going to click 2 in Kiev, 2 in Moscow, 2 in Kazan, and 1 Samara, 1 Saratov. That's it for now. We'll get more afterwards. This is enough. It's going to cost us a lot of money to make sure that these bureaucratic centers are actually running. So it's more than enough for now. I've also canceled the initial trade routes that I had for sugar and liquor. Greece wants a defensive pact. Sure, we can do that. Let's see what we can improve relations with. I would love to have great relations with the Germans, in my opinion. I feel like Germany is a great addition to our, our alliance set, let's say. I also want to fully integrate Circassia, and they back down. All right, fair enough. Circassia and the Caucasian Imamat. I'm going to fully annex them, so, I don't like these 2 small blips on the map. It is just annoying to see this in the Caucasus region, and it's like the first thing I like to do, simply so I get rid of them. No particular important reason, no strategic reason. They're not amazing or anything. They only have like, what, 30,000 GDP or something, 33,000. But it's just an ugly bleep on the map. I like to see beautiful borders. That's just how I roll, okay? And of course, the Caucasian Imamat back down too, since they didn't have support from anyone. Sometimes they can get support from the Ottomans, say for example. Oh my god, that passed way too fast. Oh no, we got minus 500 bureaucracy. This is really bad now. We're gonna have to change this a little bit around. Let's bring the mines and everything at the bottom, and let's just make sure we get the government administration up next. Just 1 tooling workshop is fine. Oh my god, that was really fast. What was the success chance on that? Like 60%? All right, let's go ahead and we can also change a few things around here now. Let's see how we can exactly reform the government. I could say get the Orthodox Church in, and then it's just 100% legitimacy and everything is a-okay, but I want to get more laws enacted, and getting more political political parties sometimes means more laws available, sometimes less, depends on your RNG really. And with the armed forces, it's minus 27. It's still not bad. 69% legitimacy is decent. And it also gives us access to the health system, charity hospitals, as well as the professional army, which is because of the armed forces, of course. Even the National Guard is not bad overall considering. What I really would like to do is get landed voting, so I'm gonna attempt to get this done, but likely they're gonna be against it, so I might have to cancel and try and enact something else afterwards. Let's see. All right, we build the tooling workshops. Let's switch over to iron frame buildings now. That's gonna tank our economy a slight bit, not too bad overall considering we're still actually making money. So because we're still actually making money, I'm gonna be building more construction sectors. Let's say another 3 over in the capital. I'll just wait till these initial 2 government buildings get finished first. There you go. Now we can get 3 more. Alt click, and by hovering over, we quickly realize we have some tools shortages. Let's make up for that with some imports of tools we can get from the French market, the Spanish, and so on. We got to be careful though, as it costs bureaucracy for each trade route established if we do not have a trade agreement with that country. And we're still going strong with our finances. Let's get 2 more construction sectors in the capital then, and afterwards we probably need to make up for the lack of tools and everything else that we're using in the construction sector and build more tooling workshops and all that schnaps. Hovering over this, and construction sectors, 42,000 on iron. All right, we need to get more iron, and we just passed landed voting. That was really cool. That means we now are gonna get some sort of voting. It's not a proper voting system, you know, because it's only the, you know, landed people that actually get to vote, but it's better than the autocratic system that we had before, right? Let's also attempt to get the professional army, see how this goes. The gentry assembly is against it because this is going to give extra political power to the armed forces, but professional army is the future in this game, so we got to be a part of the future, right? The Tsars will be done. 42% to get the professional army. That's actually super high chances. It's kind of like half chance of getting it, isn't it? And we have the Kazakhs rebelling. All right, let's kill off these colonial scumbags. Make sure they know who they're messing with here. Booyah, Shnoki boys, we got professional army. That is amazing. Let's see what we can pass up next. Slowly but surely, we are making progress here. So let's go and get the charity hospitals. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to cancel this because I am still struggling with my bureaucracy. I don't have enough bureaucracy to pass that. So let's just say we're going to go instead with another government change. Let's see if we can get more reforms by getting more interest groups in the government. It would take a little bit of a hit, 29% to be more precise, but the industrialists are great. That means we now have an extra voting tier, wealth voting, even better than landed voting since it gives less political strength to all of these guys here, the aristocrats, capitalists, clergymen, and officers. In fact, it takes away all of that political strength that they have. But the best part is that we can get serfdom abolished. Let's try. 67% opposition is huge, and we only start with 6% support, so we might have to actually cancel that. Let's go. Let's see how it goes. Ooh, we can get 10% success enactment chance if we lower bureaucracy by 15%, or radicals from standard of living decreases. Okay, that's a lot of radicals and standard of living. It's only whilst this is being enacted, so I think it's worth it. Let's go for that. Holy shit, that killed us. 13 million radicals. Oh, it was -2 standard of living for the whole country. Okay, that is really bad. I didn't expect it. I didn't read that properly. I should have read it. I didn't see it's for the whole freaking country. We need to make sure we pass this fast or we cancel it. Now, our main problems are silk, coal, and lead. So let's continue and improve our silk, coal, and lead situations by building that schnapps. Gonna queue up, say, 4 and 4 in each of these silk producing provinces. I also queued up some lead, and let's queue up some more coal as well in Moscow, say another 5. Plus, we're gonna change over to the atmospheric engine pump for all of our mines, for that matter. We're gonna do that, which means it's gonna produce more, but it also means it's gonna need more tools. So we're gonna have to build up more tools. Let's say an extra 6 in the capital, which means we're gonna have 10 tooling workshops here in one province. Because they're all in the same province, we're gonna get an extra 10% tools produced from these factories here, from the economy of scale. And we just annexed the Kazakhs too. Was that the Ottoman flag? That's so weird. I didn't know the Kazakhs have the same flag as the Ottomans. Now we're actually starting to look like a proper, oh my god, even more success enactment chance reduction. Now it's back to 7%. Oh, dude, I hate doing this, but I'm gonna cancel it. Screw it, I'm gonna cancel it. This kills off a lot of the radicals. We went from 15 mil to 9 mil. And we're gonna try again later. For now, we're gonna try something else. Go from traditionalism to agrarianism is also a good idea if we can get it done. And let's also lower our taxes a little bit. Let's go to high taxation now. We also need to increase the amount of universities that we have, as well as motor and steel mills. So let's get one motor in Samara, one steel mill in Kazan, just one for now. And we're gonna get some universities over in Moscow. Let's say 3 universities, and we're gonna upgrade this to 10 universities after we finish building those. Bro, are you shitting me? The first freaking thing is minus 10 enactment chance. Oh my freaking lord. Okay, gonna cancel this as well. And we're gonna try the wealth voting, see if that does anything really. It's also time to colonize Celebes and South America, since we've wait, we need to get this interest again. We now have finished with the Kazakh lands and Sakhalin, so we can just focus on other parts of the world. We're doing these areas because first off, they are available, and second off, because with these areas, we're gonna have access to more exotic goods like dyes, silk, all that schnapps that's available in the equatorial area of the planet. Whenever you're getting new colonies, you need to build a port in these colonies so they have access to your market. Otherwise, they basically are absolutely irrelevant without market access. Hey, we went up to 10% success chance for wealth voting. Better than the 0% that we had before, that's for sure. And we also do not have any more shortages now, so we're steadily getting on the right path with this whole situation. Finland also backed down, and they're now a puppet, which means that we can integrate them after our truce finishes in a few years with them. And we also can start eyeing up Qing. Qing is a huge country, both population-wise and potential-wise, because you can get so much freaking money from here. Before we do that, we also are going to be eyeing up Khiva and all these lands here, Bukhara, Kokand, Afghanistan, Persia. We want to make puppets out of this and integrate them later as well, since all of this area has opium, and opium is what makes armies really great in the mid to late game in this game. Usually if they don't get any sort of support, they back down around the last moment. Please back down. No? Well, I was wrong about that. Apparently, they want to fight the world's greatest empire with their snappy-doop little boyos here. I mean, don't get me wrong. I really do appreciate them doing that. I like a good fight just as much as the next Russian boyo, but that's just annoying because I would have used this time to, you know, actually get more wars done instead of fighting these boys. All right, let's go with the next chance of getting serfdom abolished. We have 32% now instead of what like 5% we had before. So it might actually go through this time. And abolishing serfdom is one of the biggest deals as Russia. It's going to skyrocket us into the moon. We're going to be the first there, not the Americans. Oh my God, we start with 45%. Hot damn, boy. Sorry, I just couldn't hide my excitement there. Let's see what else we can do here. We got intense grazing, beautiful soil enrichment for everybody here. And let's check our market, see what exactly is expensive. Oh my God, fine arts, chemical fertilizers, I mean porcelain, furniture. Okay, fine. So we're not as bad as it used to be before. Let's go ahead and build some more art academies in that case. Say 2 more in Ingria, since we already have a few there as well. And let's build some chemical plants next. We also are lacking in our infrastructure in Moscow. So we're going to switch over from social mobility in here, since there's not much pops anyway. We're going to use that authority points to get road maintenance in Moscow, which boosts us back up to 100% infrastructure, or 98%, whatever. By now, you should also be back on medium taxation, and that's going to be visible by the simple fact that the life standards have increased quite a little bit. And not to worry about the balance being on the minus, we have enough reserves to last us a very long time. And avec le one puppet Karamia, let's go with the next one. Actually, I think I'm just gonna conquer, wait, 17 infamy to conquer this. How about puppeting? 10 infamy. It's a tough one. Tough one. What's my infamy right now? It's 2. All right, let's just conquer. Let's conquer these boys. Buyashnoki, bring the boys by the border with them. And I saw that we went from 40 something to 30% serfdom. That sucks. Big PP, not gonna lie. We do seem to have a bit of a revolution going on. Okay, 98 support for this. Oh, this is bad. bad. They might actually trigger if it goes up to 100 radicalism. Not sure how I'm gonna fix that. That's actually a big problem for me right now. I might have to cancel serfdom abolished enactment. I'll keep an eye on this. If it goes to 99, I'll cancel it. It had to be abandoned, boys. We switched over to agrarianism now. See, this is the stuff that you don't normally see. I don't usually keep this in my videos. I cut it out. And I know a lot of people are asking, how are you passing that so fast or whatever? I don't. I just simply don't stay on one thing for too long if it's not gonna pass. So if I see that there's a big issue with the legislation, cancel, go for another one that I know will pass fast, and then go back to the previous one whenever I see a bigger chance of it passing. We're also gonna queue up some basic industry stuff like I control click once for 10 textile mills in Kursk, and I've done the same thing in Bryansk with the furniture manufactories. This way we have 20 factories for these basic goods. Is enough for the time being. We need to focus on other things, but we're getting a little bit of this so we can also increase our standard of living because we're making these particular goods cheaper, more available to the general population, and as such increases the standard of living. Okay, we got super lucky and super unlucky at the same time. We got 74% enactment chance, but it didn't go through. What's going on here? Balkans play. Oh, Ionian Islands are getting annexed by the Brits. I do not give a schnaps. And voila, my boys. I said voila because in case you didn't know, in the 19th century, France had a massive influence on Russia. Most of the Russian aristocracy loved to speak French, and overall, there's a lot of French words that influenced Russian words in the 19th century. You might find words that sound French and Russian with a bit of a Russian tone to them, and that's because of this particular period in time. Now, I shall proceed and shut up with the weird and unrequested historical stuff. Russians attacking Afghanistan. What can go wrong? Apparently nothing because they backed down. Let's see what my infamy is at. I am at 29. I think I'll wait for a little bit. Once that goes down a little bit more, I'm going to do the same with Persia. Try and puppet the Persians. I guess I can start integrating my other puppets in the meanwhile. Actually, I can start that with Finland since we've had these boys for a while now. Oh, wow. We're seriously going to get the First World War over Finland? Really, guys? Austria, France? Really? Is that what's going to happen here? You're actually going to fight for this? They want to humiliate Prussia and get independence for these boys. Alright, well, you know what? I can just annex Finland and then I can let the Prussians deal with the rest of these people here. I know what you're thinking. I'm the greatest ally in the world. I know. I love naval invasions. A quick naval invasion into their capital pretty much won the war for us. In record time as well, I might add. Enact census suffrage. Oh, hell yeah, I want this. A lot of opposition for it though. Let's see what else we can do legislation-wise around here. Oh my god, per capita taxation. Yes, please. Imagine the initial tax revenue that we get from this is 50,000 extra. Massive boost to our economy. Hey, we're even defeating the Austrian units in the Finnish lands. I guess the Austrians are not what they used to be, are they? Just 100 and something years ago, they kicked back the Ottomans. I'm just kidding. It was Poland that kicked them off the siege of Vienna. You're welcome, Austria. You're welcome. Not nice what you did to the Poles after, is it though? So now in order to get out of this war, we just gotta capitulate, and that's gonna essentially let the Prussians be by themselves in the war against France and Austria. The war goal they have is just humiliation of Prussia, so I would just peace out if I was the Prussians. But the AI is not gonna do that. They're gonna fight it till the death for the dumbest war goal ever. I know what you're thinking. I know. Oh wow, I'm wrong. I guess the latest update did make a big difference when it comes to the way that the AI thinks, doesn't it? And we just got railways, so let's build a few of these in Moscow and adjacent provinces because we're going to start massively expanding our industry since we have the available infrastructure. The biggest issue we start with as Russia is that if we build too much of something, we wouldn't have the market access because the infrastructure. But now that we got railways, that issue is out the window. We don't have any more problems with infrastructure ever again. Looks like Armenia also needs some extra infrastructure, and it is high time that we started building more construction sectors. Let's go with 5 for now in Kazan, and if that's okay, we can build another 5 in Galish afterwards. It's actually extremely okay. Let's go with 10 in Galish and another 5 in Kazan. Finally, we also get some schools in this country. About time. We only have 27% literacy, which is ridiculously low, so we're going to use a lot of our bureaucratic bureaucratic points to actually enact level 2 education. So we're gonna need to build more bureaucratic centers in order to do that, apparently. Or we can just switch over to the standardized filing system, which went, oh my god, we got 1.5k now. That is a lot. All right, that means we can do level 2 for this. We can also do level 2 for law enforcement and even level 2 for colonial affairs. Albeit, I don't need colonial affairs anymore. I've pretty much finished my colonization of South America. I'm just gonna manually puppet and integrate the rest of the South American lands now, I guess. Oh my god, we got 7 million in the investment pool, which is getting transferred now to the national revenue. So we're gonna have a few years of massive prosperity. We're gonna take advantage of that. Let's go ahead and double the amount of construction sectors we got now. So let's build 15 of these bad boys in Astrakhan and another 15 of these in Kuban. Getting this appointed bureaucrats legislation enacted is getting a little bit more difficult than I expected it to, but hey, we're getting there. And we seem to have a lot of shortage of ammunition. Oh god, is it because we don't have any ammunition industry going? Yep. And I switched to skirmishers, so that's an issue. Let's go back to line infantry because we don't have the right technology for that. I need to research percussion caps in order to start building munition plants. Speaking of research, I'm also a little bit behind with my research, so I need to get more universities done. There you go. I queued up 25 universities. Should fix most of our innovativeness problems, I guess. And looks like the US is at war once more with the Mexicans. They clearly want to manifest destiny against Mexico. Hey, we found Jack the Stripper boys. 10% authority. Hails to the speaking of, I just realized earlier that I put a consumption tax on wood, which is 300 authority. Don't do that, chat. I don't know why I did it. I thought it's 100. That was a mistake. Never do that. That was a big mistake. I literally just wasted authority points for nothing. Let's go ahead and cancel this and go for another legislation too, since that did not pass. Let's try and get laissez-faire would be perfect, but agrarianism is not so bad too. Laissez-faire is the pretty much meta though, since it's going to be a lot easier working with debt. Speaking of, we're gonna have to go into debt a lot more. We're gonna change to crystal glass and we're gonna build a lot of lead mines too. Let's go say 7 for the time being in Kuban, another 4 in Armenia, and 5 in Lesser Poland. And we're also gonna research percussion caps, as I said before, because we need it. Hey, we got condensation engine pumps. Amazing. Let's go ahead and use that. Change all of our mines to it. Speaking of mines, we don't have that many mines, so we really should start pumping out a lot of these mines. Let's say pump out 10 in Moscow for now and a lot more all around the place wherever we can. And I canceled the ones in Rostov because I just saw that Rostov does not actually have much population left, so it would be a waste for me to build 10 coal mines here when there's no population to work the coal mines. Now we can use the social mobility edict again, since we have a ton of extra authority points that we got since we canceled the stupid tax on wood. And I'm also going to be cleaning house around this area, basically destroy all the small countries here aside from the East India Company, which I will destroy also later. I plan on taking most of Asia out since I'm going to use the population in Asia to become insanely rich in the long run. Time to increase our food industry as well. We're building 21 food industry. We're also going to increase the furniture and the textile mills. Let's say an extra 10 of each for now. And because our budget is doing absolutely amazing, we're going to expand our construction services. Let's say an extra 30 or even 45 construction sectors should be fine for the time being. I want to explain a little bit how the whole innovation thing goes here. We're getting 102 innovation per week. That's because we got a 50 base value that we can get and another 52 from literacy. If we increase our literacy, we can go up to 150 that we could potentially get from literacy. So we don't need to build any more universities now. We've reached the cap. If we build more unis, it's not a waste, but it's not as efficient as it would otherwise be because the excess goes to the technological spread here. There you go. See here, 5 innovativeness from unspent innovation from the universities. My point is that in order to increase the amount of research that we can get, innovativeness that is, we need to get more literacy. We need to make our people really educated, and we're working on it, that's for sure. We're gonna take advantage of our southern Caucasus areas, and we're gonna be getting a lot of cotton plantations here, as well as we're gonna be building in Celebes as well as Baluchistan all the dye plantations plantations that we can build. Dye is extremely important for our development, and we don't have that much right now, so we just got to make do with what we have. Province-wise, that is not that many that we can build dyes in. Wait, what? China still has irregular units? Bro. Oh my god, it's time to eat them up, isn't it? Let's go ahead and start munching into the Qing lands. Manchuria, everybody knows, is proper Russian clay, of course. Let's make sure we have very high military wages for our army. This way, our units get a little bit of a bonus when fighting, and we've also made sure that we have the better troops for this war. So it shouldn't be any sort of a challenge, considering that, you know, they got freaking irregulars. As expected, I am absolutely crushing them. Victory after freaking a victory. I should probably increase my taxes during the duration of this war, because I am losing a little bit of money. So let's say medium taxation for now. We're gonna bring it back down to very low after. Look at the benefit here, boys. Because we had it on very low for so long, look at our investment pool. It's 9.3 million alongside our 10 million from the gold reserves. So we're making so much more money by having lower taxation. It's absolutely insane. Hey, hey, time for the cheeky boys. We committed the ultimate cheeky, the naval invasion with invasion means invasion. Oh my god, that actually makes sense now that I think about it. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is we committed the naval invasion. Nothing like a good cup of tea to, you know, watch my troops completely crush the Qing over in Beijing, is it? One thing that's extremely important when it comes to your economy, never forget this, is once you research dynamite, switch over to dynamite, because it's gonna massively impact how your economy is gonna run. I just switched over to dynamite now, and I'm producing insanely higher amounts of products. Just need a little bit more explosives, so we're gonna have to build some chemical refineries now, or chemical plants, I guess. And we seem to have a bit of a shortage of the basic stuff like silk, all that schnapp. So I'm gonna be building a little bit of each of this. Let's say 5 farms in every province where there's not much of any production going and there is population. So like all of the Siberian lands that have pops now but don't have any sort of thing that they're producing, well, they're going to be producing my basic economy, let's say. Also, the same goes for cotton. We need more fabric, so we're going to build some of that in the Caucasus. And of course, the delight of the Middle East, opium. Bureaucratic struggles. Oh, 10% enactment success chance. Not bad. We went up to 17% of this. This is like the second or third time that I'm attempting to get appointed bureaucrats. And we just liberated Uyghur lands, as well as, oh my god, that is so disgusting, border gore. Really, Qing? You keep one province? Bruh, come on. Really? Oh my god, this is so annoying. Gonna have to take this after. But yeah, I did this because Uyghur lands I can essentially puppet later down the line whenever I want to. And I also took the Manchurian lands. So we have the Russian, proper Russian area, don't we now? Also, check it out, boys. We're actually on very low taxation and we're still getting 850,000. That is just insane, dude. Oh, and I forgot to build my admin buildings. Let's build the admin buildings too, I guess. Let's say build them in the provinces with the highest amount of pops. That would make more sense, right? And we officially also are the world's greatest power now. We got 2,000 prestige, 236 million GDP, and I believe our standard of living is amongst the best in the world as well, at least amongst the great powers, of course. We're not counting the small OPMs, which cheese the standard of living rating here, and that's pretty annoying in my opinion. The great part about building extra universities is that whenever our education goes up, now it's at 42, 43%, we don't need to continue to build universities because we have the universities, and the excess innovation that was going to the spread of technology is directly going to the weekly innovation that we use ourselves. To get an idea how strong this whole thing is right here, look at that, boys. We're getting 1 million national revenue just from very low taxation. We would actually be getting 1.5 million from very high, but we don't need to do that. We don't need to tax our people that much because look at our economy here. 21 million from the investment pool is absolutely bonkers. And that's also because of the legislation, including laissez-faire, that helped out so much with this economic snowball. Oh my god, dude, again 4%. Are you kidding me right now, dude? Should I just go for elected bureaucrats? Screw it, I'm gonna go for this. Anything is better than hereditary, which is absolutely trash. Halle freaking Luya, boys. We got elected bureaucrats after freaking 30 years of trying to change the initial legislation. Now let's go ahead and build like 1 trillion more construction sectors. I don't know how many. A lot. We have a lot of money, so we're gonna build a lot of them. Shall we attempt to get universal suffrage? I guess we could. if it doesn't work, we have other legislation we can go for as well, I guess. And guess what? We've been a little bit cheeky and we started a little bit of a colonization in the Micronesian lands, the Polynesian areas. We're basically getting all of these islands here as our own, and we already have pretty much the entirety of the South Island of New Zealand, so we're definitely making our presence known in these lands. Curious how the Australians are feeling knowing that West Australia is partially owned by Russia. We actually have about the same population as the Australians have in their West Australian state here. Oh boy, I think we're gonna defeat them because we still haven't incorporated this, so we're getting a lot of migrants attracted there still. And boys, the first step towards creating the Soviet Union is separating the state and the church. So enacting total separation is absolutely vital for our playthrough, and that's the main focus right now. Hopefully this manages to go through. Not hopefully, this has to go through. You know that meme with how many construction sectors? And the answer is yes. Well, that's me right now, because still don't know what to do with the money I got, dude. Look at that. I'm getting 230,000 per month with very low taxation. I really don't know what to do with the money, and I'm also reaching my gold reserve limit, so I'm just gonna spam these freaking construction sectors. An easy way of realizing what exactly your country has a shortage of is by going to your market and then just sorting out by market price. So we need to get more wood, hardwood, glass, as well as furniture and tools and groceries. So that's essentially what we're going to be focusing on right now. I'm going to queue up 30 of each of these particular industries, which should fix these shortages for the time being. Look at all them factories and logging camps and everything else being built everywhere. It is abso-freaking-lutely glorious. We're using so much freaking construction sectors. I'm having a hard time keeping it on speed 5 and actually having enough time to click everywhere before everything gets finished building. My point exactly. Look at that. I got to start building again now. And check out our standard of living. We got a better standard of living than most of the European powers, including the British. So suffice to say that we're doing it properly, boys. We're actually doing it properly in our nation. Whoa, I'm surprised to see that Orissa, initially it was a rebellion, actually managed to succeed, and it's an independent country now. We got total separation, and that is step 1 right there, boys. Step 1. Now it's also time to build some more tooling workshops, because apparently that's what we are lacking a lot of. And let's also go ahead and build 50 sugar plantations in Tabriz, since we've integrated our boyos, the Persians. With them integrated, it does mean that we don't need to import sugar from anybody else anymore, because we can domestically produce all the sugar we ever need. If we manage to get multiculturalism, we have all the great legislation we need for a lot of people to start migrating over to our side. Since we have total separation, elected bureaucrats, no migration controlled, banned all the serfdom styles and everything else, it's an absolute paradise to live in. We just need healthcare and better religious legislation, and we are absolutely schnappledoo. Also, looks like I'm really far behind with my government administration, so let me get some more of that going around. Education institution has also increased to level 3. We want to get it to level 5, but we need to get some better technology or legislation before we have that available, and we're also going to try and get law enforcement to level 5 for that matter. Let's see, we can do that. We just need to get more bureaucracy for that though. Surprised the Uyghurs have not given up yet. Are they actually gonna fight me? Really? No, they backed out. They backed out. There you go, another vassallon, and I think it's time for yet one more war against Qing to get another big chunk out of them. I also realized I don't have enough engines for all the railways that I'm about to build, so let's fix that situation too. We're also in the process of researching the best technology we're ever gonna be researching in any game, let's face it. Took me a little bit of time, but I had to actually resolve my issues in my country, because from switching certain production methods, I kind of tanked my economy, had to get it back up and fix it. That's done, so now we can attack Qing. We're taking a big strip in the north, as well as this annoying little schnipple schnock over here, so we have proper beautiful borders against these boyos. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the same Shkamobi. I'm gonna be navally invading them once more in their capital. This way I get the war score I need, but I'm gonna wait until we go to 0 war support. This way it's faster for me to capitulate them. If I navally invade them now, the front's gonna get established in the capital, and there's a chance they might even push me back if they get some actual help from the French, because the French also joined in this war. And Darshe blobs, boys. I wasn't patient enough. I didn't wait until 30% war score. I thought might as well just attack it now. Screw it. Every one of their units is busy on other fronts, and that's exactly what's happening. They're not even reinforcing this. Are you snapping me? What the hell? How did they not send reinforcements yet? Wow. I chose the perfect time, didn't I? They got, oh no, they started sending reinforcements. All right, well, I guess it was a matter of time, wasn't it? There you go. Their reinforcements are starting to take back what we took over in the northern bit. So actually, let me send some units to fight them off in that case. Gotta say, I love this big strip of Russia that we have in the middle of freaking Qing. And looks like we also managed to get electricity. That means we're gonna go down the line here and we're gonna start the big boy production methods. Let's go with vulcanization first, so we get elastics for the textile mills. We have rubber in the Papuan colonies. And oh my god, come on! No! Really? Oh, this is so disgusting right here, man. I was hoping to have some beautiful borders. And we also just got oil, so let's start building up our oil industry. And boys, check it out. We can go for Council Republic. We have 40% acceptance, 43% opposition, so we're gonna make sure that this passes through, because that means only one thing, and one thing alone: we're gonna be the greatest nation in this particular run. You guessed it, we gonna be the Soviets, my boys. We also need to import a few more engines, and for that matter, we need to import some lead and apparently some fertilizers. This is temporary, of course. We're gonna be building this locally, so we're not gonna need to import all of the schnapps after we finish constructing our own everything really. Whoa, what the schnapps happened here? Western Australia is separate from New South Wales, and they're not a puppet of the UK. Okay, that changes things because I want to get him as my puppet. I've also switched a lot of my industries to electrical grids and so on. Like, I've switched my logging camps to electrical production method from the sawmills, and yeah, suffice to say, it's improved things, but I also need to build a lot more electrical factories or power plants, whatever you call them. I feel like one of the biggest bane I have in this game is infrastructure. I just need to build a freaking huge amount of infrastructure just to keep up with the amount of market access that I need in all of my provinces. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It simply means that my country is booming economically speaking right now, but it does mean we have some shortages. We have electricity shortages. I've built an extra 15 power plants, but we still have shortages because I've switched most of my production methods to the electric ones. Let's see how many we got queued up. We got 40 power plants queued up. Let's queue another, say, 20 more in Latvia. I've got some massive shortages of rubber, so I'm gonna be getting my rubber from Tidor. Basically, I'm annexing the rest of Papua here, and then I'm probably gonna head into South America to get the other rubber bit that I need, I guess. I don't know, man. It's just one of those in search of rubber moments. Wait, what? Ingria is our skyscraper center? Oh, right. Ingria is the capital, right? I always forget that St. Petersburg's the capital at the start. Well, what do you know, boys? It's that time of the year in which we have to harvest Qing once more and take another big chunk out of them. This time they're helped out by the Austrians, which is a bit of a pain because I don't have enough troops to defend against both of them. But the good part is that the Austrians do not actually have any war goals. So after I peace out Qing, I can just capitulate to the Austrians and I'll be a-okay. We're also doing a naval invasion in their capital, so that should give us a little bit of traction. They did bring reinforcements this time though, so hopefully we manage to you know what, I'm gonna do a second naval invasion if they did that. Let's go with another invasion in the south. Let's say open up a third front. I'm actually struggling with population right now. I'm getting a lot of migrants, but at the same time I'm producing so much stuff that is quite literally 8 pages of me continuously producing stuff. Actually 9 pages. I didn't queue up enough stuff. This also leads me to the next thing. For the first 10 years I didn't really have much construction sectors queued up. I was barely producing anything. I feel like that was a little bit of a mistake on my side. I tried to play it a little bit safe at the start because I wanted to focus on not crushing my economy, and also at the start because of the legislation the Russians have, it can be pretty tough, let's face it, and you can easily get rebellions. But now because of the current legislation and because we're super stable as an economy and as a country, it's impossible for us to fall essentially now. One problem I do have though is the fact that I couldn't pass Council Republic, and now there's a lot of opposition for it, so we're gonna have to bring the general population back towards Council Republic somehow, I guess. Oh, that's so cute. The sprites on the map look absolutely amazing. You can see that they still have mana war against our steamers or monitors, whatever the schnapps we got. I don't even know what we have, to be honest. Let me check actually. What do we have as our ships? We got monitors now. Okay, fair enough. We gotta get dreadnoughts next, I guess. Dude, seriously, how am I running out of population so fast? It's ridiculous. I mean, on the bright side, at least we're absolutely destroying Qing here. We're about to win the war. Look how quickly we're getting the war support down for their side and our support imports, well, it's still going down our side, but theirs is going down faster, right? That's what matters here. Hallelujah. We just got a massive chunk out of Qing, and now we're looking a lot juicier. We don't have the nasty border gore in town of Tuva or any of the other parts here. Plus, we got a ton of extra population now. We will eventually incorporate the entirety of Qing, which means we're not going to have any population issues, really. So maybe the next war we can take Beijing, which has how much population? It's got 9 million pops. Holy mother of God, that is a lot of pops. Now, around this period, there's usually a lot of revolutions. We just had the radicals in France take over. Looks like the radicals in Switzerland are taking over as well. It's not going great for the world, but it's going great for us. We went up to 1.7 billion GDP. Second after us is the Austrians with 351. So it's suffice to say that we're doing a pretty decent job at managing our country. We do need a ton of extra power plants. I built a lot of power plants and I'm still short of them, so I need to build more. I also am pretty short of infrastructure in the newly conquered lands. Alxa has 11% market access. I did queue up some railways. I think I might need to queue up some more though. 10 in here, and let's see what's going on here. 13. Oh, this is actually just needs population. Fair enough. Now, I know I said I'm not going to colonize Hokkaido, but I changed my mind because I'm worried somebody else might start colonizing it, and then that's going to be an issue for me because I didn't colonize it in time, right? Because Japan's not colonizing. They're just sitting here doing nothing, acting all cute and stuff. Oh my dude, imagine if we got graduated taxation. I'm going to try and go for this. Chances are I'm not going to be able to enact it. Actually, 33% chance. Oh my lord, we might be able to enact this. We're close to getting 2 billion now, but we are struggling with our legislation in the sense that I'm actually moving a little bit further away from communism. I did start boosting up the trade unions, which is going to bring me back towards communism, but right now, sadly, the leader of my country is also a fan of the gentry assembly, so the first step probably is going to be to get rid of the monarchy, and then after I get rid of the monarchy, to switch over to the Council Republic. Really wish we actually got that one chance we had a while back to go to the Council Republic, but hey, the game is super RNG, so it is what it is, end of the day, right? On the bright side, we went up to 24 standard of living, which is a huge amount, and for our upper strata, it's up to 40.2 wealthy. I didn't even know you can reach that high of a freaking level. Look at Europe by contrast. Everybody's struggling. Russia is doing absolutely amazing. Looks like our bolstering did bear fruit because now we can put the trade unions in charge of the country, which again means that we'll be having a second chance at getting the Council Republic enacted, or if that fails, second plan, like I said before, try and go for the Republic first and then for the Council afterwards. Holy mother, dude. That was so freaking close. We had 93 support for a revolution to preserve monarchy, which is gone now, of course. But holy mother of God, that was insane. Alright, now that we got that, we've officially become the Soviet Union because we've enacted the Council Republic. Council, if I'm not mistaken, actually means Soviet in Russian. Correct me if I'm wrong, by the way. And look how beautiful we look on the map. And yes, we're also in another war against Qing, and we will be taking a huge chunk out of them right now, and that's good because we need the extra population. We only have 3 million available right now to work in the industry, and that is clearly not enough. Now let's check what other policies we can go for. Since we did get Council Republic, we should probably go for command economy too. Laissez-faire is probably a little bit better because of the loan interest rate reduction and because of the amount of capital for the investment fund, which is huge, by the way. But you know, capitalist and Soviet Union doesn't really go hand in hand, does it? That's kind of why, for role-playing purposes, I want to go for this. I'm not going to do that just yet, though. I have other things I want to pass as well. Like, for example, guaranteed liberties. It's high time we get this. Once this is enacted, we're basically going to get rid of 10 million radicals and increase the amount of loyalists that we have by a huge amount. From that one legislation, that's just mind-blowing, boys. Hot dang, just noticed I have 1,500 on the minus with my bureaucracy. I feel like I should probably take care of that, shouldn't I? And we just got another chunk of Qing. Now, the only bit of Qing left is the bit with the high amount of population and the proper lands here, but this is quite literally just 2 more wars and it's all ours. Let's go ahead and make sure Beijing's comfortable in our lands by increasing the amount of infrastructure we got here. They don't have any railways? What? Oh well, at least we got 15 million population from this one city, as well as lead, logging camps, all the good schnaps. We're gonna make good use of that, of course. Trudovix, no, I don't want that. Thank you very much. That is not the proper party, you know, the Soviet party, the only party really. I also went up to 25 standard of living for a second before I took the lands in China, which is a pretty significant amount because that includes the regular people too, boys. I guess we can also start cleaning up house here in India. They've integrated most of their vassals now, so it's fine. We can allow them to be a part of the greater Soviet. Oh, we have the Russian all-military union. I think these are the fascists. Oh, they're in opposition, as they should be, of course. Let's see how it goes with our guaranteed liberties. It's fluctuating. It was like 70 something, then 50, now 60 something. We're gonna get it enacted eventually, not an issue. I'm actually really having a lot of fun with this run, so if you guys want me to do a second part, let's get 7,000 likes in the first few days. I know I said the same thing with the last Russian campaign, but reality is that the patches came really fast, boys, and it might happen the same with this nation, right? So that's why I'm saying the first few days. If we get the likes, I'm instantly gonna start recording it so I can release it, and we'll go all the way up to 1936. Maybe we can do a world conquest as the Soviets by 1936. Pretty confident we can, actually. We've got most of the world already. The rest of the stuff is not really that much aggressive expansion when you really think about it, or infamy. What was I saying, boys? We went up to 24 million loyalists, and we decreased the amount of radicals by a huge amount. We still have a lot because we honestly just took a huge chunk out of China, which gave us all of those radicals as consequence, right? We also just electrified our railway grid, meaning we have insanely great railways, and also we have issues with electricity again, so let's start building a lot more power plants. We need so many power plants, it's insane, dude. All right, let's see, build another 50 in Beijing since we just got that and it has high population, and another 50 in Gansu for the same reason. We're gonna need some extra railways there as well, so let's go with 10 in Beijing and 10 in the newly conquered areas too. Why not? Let's do that. In the late game, legit speaking, oil is the most important good you're ever gonna need. Luckily for us though, oil is in abundance in our country compared to the rest of the world. I think second afterwards is the Americans when it comes to the amount of oil that is present. And holy schnaps, they haven't even fully unified all of their country. What the hell is going on there? Same goes for these bad boys here. They haven't even taken the lands from the Brits, but on the bright side, they do have parts of the northwestern bit of the United States, so that's cool to see. Looks like the Prussians want to cut us down to size, so let's have a little bit of a Soviet-Prussian fun here, shall we? It's not a proper game unless the Russians and the Prussians fight for some reason. Now, I really could basically take the east parts of Prussia, but I don't want to do that to my Prussia boos, so I'm not going to take any land from them. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't even want to do anything bad to them. I know I'm supposed to do bad stuff. What can I do to hurt them but not really hurt them? You know what? We can get war reps, right? We got war reps, Prussian war. That is enough. That is more than enough that we need from the Prussians. You may have the strength, Prussia, but you don't have the numbers, so get out of my land, you bastards. Time to also get women's suffrage, so we get the extra 15% workforce ratio. We need the workforce. Despite having 200 million population, almost everybody is already working on something, so we need more pops. Okay, that was actually insanely fast. We passed that ridiculously quick. I wish we could have done the same for, you know, literally anything else that we needed. Freaking women's suffrage passes instantly, and Council Republic took me like 4 times. I'm evil, I tell you. My Navalen Invasionen is amazing. I had to do it. I had to do that little stunt there because, you know, I'm just happy that I managed to go behind the enemy lines. They never expected the Russians to do a naval invasion, and they definitely did not expect the second naval invasion in the other part of Mecklenburg. Hey, you know what? They're gonna agree to a white peace. Screw it, bros. I don't want to destroy my beloved Prussia. I also don't want to destroy my own country, obviously, but I'm super okay with the Prussians doing their own thing. And yes, you're right. You saw that correctly. We're getting 1.6 million, even though we're building a freaking huge amount of stuff. And we got 140 million in gold reserves. So we technically should be expanding our construction sectors and doubling up on building. So I'm going to do that if we're going to do the next part. For now, I'm happy with just having the Asian parts and an absolutely insane Soviet Union. So if you guys enjoyed the video, you know what to do. And until the next time, check out this awesome Victoria 3 Japan run. And I want to give a massive thank you to all of my patrons, channel members, and Twitch subscribers. I would not be able to do this without all your support.